Thank you for being here. So I'm John Thompson. I am the incoming president for the La Quinta Rotary Club of the Desert. And today we're chatting with Doug Baker, who is the about to be the immediate past president for our beautiful chapter. And we're sort of having interviews and getting to know each other and sharing this out with the world. So thank you, Doug, for being here.
It's a pleasure, John. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I'd love to start with just finding out, are you feeling gratitude today? What are you feeling grateful for, Doug?
What I was feeling grateful for today, in spite of the heat of the day, I still enjoy living in the desert. I just love it down here. I really do. So I'm very grateful for that.
Good. I think that's great. And if you can be grateful when it's 110 outside, then you're doing something right. Right. So like I tell people all the time, it's always 78 degrees inside the house. So it's okay.
Exactly right. I mean, I don't know that it's hot outside. I'm told it is. I don't go up there.
Well, we want to talk about your Rotary background. So let me get to that in a moment. But tell me a little bit about who's Doug Baker? Like, so for people that don't know you, maybe just give me a little sense for kind of who Doug Baker is outside of the Rotary world, if there is such a thing.
Okay. For 40 years, I ran my own firm, an investment advisory firm, located mostly in the Los Alamitos area. And did that for 40 years, as I say, and then grew real tired of it around 2016 and merged my firm with another firm. And I've been sitting at home reading books and doing nothing for the last decade and enjoying life immensely.
Well, I know you're not doing nothing, so but that's okay. Maybe it feels that way compared to your probably a very busy life before that. Uh, so that's great. So then tell me about your how did you get into Rotary? What attracted you in? And let's talk about Rotary below also. Give me your background, how you got into Rotary, and the history there.
I joined Rotary because I had a client come to my office who told me he belonged to a little service club there in town. This was Downey, where my office was at that
Yeah.
time. And he said, "Yeah, but we have a deal in our club. We only do business with other members, and you're not a member." And he says, "Are you interested in retaining my account?" But, well, yes. Then I want you to come to a meeting with me. I said, "When's the next one?" 20 minutes. So we left the office and there he went. It was the most boring hour and a half of my life. I couldn't, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And I'm thinking, do I want this guy bad enough as a client to commit to coming here every week? And the answer was no, I didn't. And so I wasn't interested in Rotary at that time. And yes, I did lose the client. But a few years later, someone else, "Hey, are you interested in coming to a Rotary Club meeting?" I said, "No, I'm not. Thank you. I'd rather put my nose hair on fire than go to a Rotary Club meeting. Thank you." Oh, come on, give it a chance. And yes. So I go again. This was a good meeting. Had a good present, a lot of enthusiasm there, a great program, a lot of fellowship. And I walked away saying, this is something I can get involved with. And that's when I joined Rotary. And the fellow that I lost as a client became the club president the year I joined.
Oh,
Yeah, a little awkward. And that's how I got started. Now, since that time, which was 35 years ago, I worked in Rotary at a club level, and then on a district level, also on the zone level. I'm proud to say that Rotary International has awarded me 2 meritorious certificates of performance for various things. And I also got the Service Above Self Award, which is the highest award that Rotary International bestows upon a member. So yes, once upon a time, I was very active in Rotary. Now I'm looking forward just a few hours from now, after 15 years of being just a member of a Rotary Club.
well, that's great. So, I mean, you have a lot of history, and obviously did a lot of fantastic things in that career, most of which I don't know about. I mean, if you were to look back over those 30 some years, is there a couple things that stand out to you that you were particularly proud of, an impact you had, or a project you led, or something like that that stood out in your history?
There was a couple. One year I was asked to serve as the district Rotary Foundation chairperson. And one of the responsibilities there was to raise money for the Rotary Foundation. And that year we raised over $1 million in donations. And it was just a tremendous effort because I had a phenomenal team and we really got behind it. And we didn't do it by going out asking for money. We went out to clubs and told stories about what our foundation is doing. And by the way, if that makes you feel good, part. And that was our whole message. And it was wonderful. Another year I was the membership chair for the district, and our membership actually went up that year for the district. I don't know why, but it did. And then the 2 years that I served as district governor for that district was just very impactful to me. I love both years. Wish I could do it again. Well, no, I don't. But
Well, I mean, from what I understand, being a district governor is probably more than a full-time job.
right, it definitely is. It was a 45 hour a week job easily, even though I was still full time employed. Um, and it was a challenge, but my God, it was so wonderful. Yeah.
And you stuck with it. So, yeah, and maybe you're, transitioning to a little bit different phase of it, not so forth. But what's kept you engaged with Rotary? Why are you still here, and why are you still leading and getting us all interested in it?
I don't know if I still am doing that or not, but when I was in the other district, District 5280, Los Angeles, uh, I was so ingrained in the district, so many activities, so many people that I knew. It was just sort of my life, and it just kept going on and on and on. And then when we moved down here to another district, this district has a different flavor than the LA district. This is just a different flavor, and I'm not as involved here as I was there, and I think that's the big difference.
Yeah. Uh, but that's okay. But you're still involved, and so there's something that's keeping you, tied into the group, and we hope we don't lose that. Is there anything you can cut? Obviously, you've done a lot of work with the foundation. You're not quite as involved with the foundation anymore, but you're still very involved with our club and what we're doing. So, Ryan, what keeps you coming to meetings every week, other than the fact you had to because you're president?
Yeah, other than that,
What will keep you coming, Doug?
well, we're fortunate in this club. We have a tremendous gentleman who gets us great speakers week after week after week. Just a phenomenal job. That makes you want to go to hear a good speaker. And we're starting. I think we're just starting to see the level of disrespect among our club members that I feel is necessary to have an entertaining meeting. And we're starting to see a little more familiarity along that line, which I enjoy as well. Plus, we have an outstanding new leader coming up in just a matter of hours, and I think that bodes very well for our club. John, looking forward to it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So give me a little bit of the genesis. We're a young club. We're at this point, just maybe
Years.
approaching 4 years. I can't remember. It'll be in November, I think, is 4 years. But so tell me what pulled you into this club? What made you see an opportunity sort of to start a new place?
Okay. When I came down here, I joined the Palm Desert Club. Okay, and it was okay. And then one day we had a group of people from this newly formed La Quinta Rotary Club of the Desert, or as I like to say, the La Quinta Noon Club. Uh, and they came to get sworn in. They were a satellite club of Palm Desert. They were younger. They were kind of fun to talk to. And then, my God, they met just a block down the street from where I live.
Ooh.
So there you go. That was it. That was it. So Jamie and I made the move over to the new club, and never regretted it.
Yeah, that's great. You alluded to in your original origin story uh, of Rotary and how you went to that very first meeting and you sat through 90 minutes of boring hell, probably. And that was a bad meeting, as you called it. But then later on, you went to the meeting, which you called a good meeting. So,
Mhm.
what do you think makes the difference between meetings? What's a good meeting versus a bad meeting?
Well, the first meeting I went to, the bad one,
Yeah.
okay, the president was disoriented. He didn't really know what was going on. He had no personality, and he was just going through the drills with a written agenda in front of him. Okay, now we're going to do this. Now we're moving on to this. Okay. And it was just, you've got to be kidding me. And they were a singing club. There are clubs out there that they love to sing. Okay. Yeah, that's a mistake. And
Not
we
me
had
right
these
there.
these two old guys that were on stage in this auditorium leading the group in songs. And one guy stood in front of the other guy, and I have no idea. I found out later why, but when watching, I thought, why is the other guy there? And then they had a lady who volunteered every week to play the piano.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this sounds good. Now it turns out the guy in front leading the songs uh, was standing there doing that, and the guy behind him was holding on to his coat because the guy in front had a tendency to fall off the stage.
Well, okay.
Well, this ain't good now, is it? And the lady who played the piano, bless her heart, had dementia. So no matter what song you started with, it turned into a medley. Okay, so they're trying to catch up to whatever she's doing. And I thought, this is just awful. This is God's waiting room right here in Downey. And no, here.
Okay, so that's a bad meeting.
Oh yes.
Give me a couple of elements of a good meeting because I need to know the good elements of a good meeting, and we're going to try to replicate those things at our club. So you tell me what's an element of a good meeting?
I think we forget the original purpose of Rotary. In fact, if there's some out there who may not even know, in fact, it's probably a great deal. Paul Harris said that the whole purpose of Rotary to have fun. That's it. That's the purpose. And I think we sometimes get so serious on other things, we forget to have fun. And that's why we're all here, to have fun. The first meeting I went to, there was no fun there. The second one, there was. It was lighthearted, and there's good bantering and very, very welcoming condition.
Well, I think it's important, right? So this idea of fun. I mean, you have certainly, I think, within my short experience with the Rotaries, you have a pretty diverse membership. You have people from different walks of life. It's not, certain organizations, they start to look like each other, talk to each other, and so forth. And I don't think that's the case in Rotary, to my experience so far. Even going to district meetings and things like this. But I genuinely think that most people are there. They're having fun. They're enjoying company and getting to know about each other. But at the same time, they're finding ways to do good works. And at the end of the day, if you can have a good time and help out some other people, then, I mean,
Correct.
I don't know, there's a whole lot more important stuff to do in life, quite honestly.
And you can do your helping out of others and have fun at the same time.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
And helping out others does not necessarily always mean money. I know you've had a lot of experience with money in the foundation, fundraising, but there's all sorts of other ways to contribute in different, and we all know that. So that's great. So looking back over this last year, Doug, tell me something that you think that you're proud of, something that happened in this last year that you thought was an important thing to happen.
I thought we did a good job of building some enthusiasm for our evening socials. The attendance kept growing for those month after month after month. We had fun at them, and I'm pleased of those. One thing that frustrates me about our club, and we're not alone out here in the Coachella Valley, is that for 3 or 4 months a year, we disappear.
Yeah.
And we do other things, and then we rebuild come September, October, and we start again for a few months and then slow back down again. That frustrates me. I don't know what in the world we can do about that. I really don't. And I'm very pleased that through no assistance on my part whatsoever, we're going to be inducting 4 new members in 2 days. It was wonderful.
No, I think it's exciting. I will point out something I thought was a great win from the last year, which you had an instrumental role in, which was our very first, foundation fundraiser.
Oh,
So that event was fantastic.
it was, Rick did a phenomenal job of just chairing that and getting it all together and keeping us all in line. And it netted just about $15,000 to the foundation, which is incredible. And I'm proud to have been associated with the foundation of the club during this inaugural event.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're going to continue on with the foundation.
Sure.
Just to reiterate,
Yes, sir.
I think your baseline of knowledge around the foundation, both Rotary International, the district, and locally is We can't lose that. It's important stuff. All right. So as we're heading into another Rotary year, things happen, and so forth. And what's your advice? And this can be just personal advice, right? So when things happen in life, work, business, Rotary, relationships, well, what advice would you give me going into that situation where someone's going to veer off the road for sure?
Stuff happens. You
Yeah.
just move on. That's just that simple. You can't let it weigh you down. You just
Yeah.
can't. And stuff will happen.
For sure, it will. I mean, which is fine. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And okay, I'll have you there to lean on. Okay. Um, uh, as we're going to kind of wrap up here in a minute, if you had to say kind of one thing that Rotary has given you over your adult life, what is there one thing you'd want to say that Rotary meant this to me or gave this to me, or what was it?
Contrary to what most people think of me, there was a time in my life that I was a very solitary individual. I did not socialize. I didn't have a large circle of friends. I just stuck to myself, and Rotary changed all that. Rotary gave me a circle of friends. It gave me activity. It gave me a purpose. And I'd much rather say I am a Rotarian than I used to be a Rotarian.
I love that. I think that's a perfect place to do the proverbial mic drop. That was great. Yes. So thank you, Doug. I appreciate your time. And before we go, one of the things I asked you to do is who should we interview next in our little small but mighty club? Who do you think I should reach out to next?
There's two or three, but I think
We can do it that way.
well, Rick Miller, before he retired, I asked
Yeah.
him, "What are you going to do when you retire?" And he says, "Well, I want to get back to Rotary." He was a member of Rotary in Colorado, and it was important for him when he retired to get back involved with Rotary. I think that's an interesting story. Plus, of course, he was a mortician for years, so that's
That's fascinating, I think.
it is. And oh yeah, I don't know how many dead people he made members of his club, but anyway. Robert Ryans has an interesting background. He worked at a public charity for a number of years. Um, of course, Karen, with her background in diplomacy, is an interesting person to listen to. We have them. We have them in that club.
We really do have a fascinating, group of members, and they're all founding, what I'll call founding members. They were not early. Well, the other day, maybe we all are at some level, but because I think we have a lot of road in front of us, which is exciting.
do.
So, super. Well, Doug, I appreciate your time again. Thank you very much, and we will see you in a couple of days.
Yes,
So
you
thank
will.
you.
Okay.